by money, and code selection to new code. I'm coming back to, I have to switch between the software and the screen. Okay. Okay. How many of you are having problem in coding interview? Tell me. I have just told you one step. Now questions. Select, right click, code to. If there is a code given, well and good. Otherwise, new code, give a code, it will put it into that code. How many of you are having a problem in this? Anybody who's having a problem? Please feel free. If no problem, tell me, ma'am, go to next so that I can quickly go to next. If no problem, please write next. If any problem, tell me, ask me. Next. Okay, Upasana says next. I'm going to next. Next. Very good. Next, next, quickly. We'll do all 2 days today. Okay. Alternatively, I can go on the left side to codes. Here I'm doing auto coding because to make it faster, why somebody else presenting? Has somebody else started? Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? I see somebody else has started presenting. Is my screen visible? It's visible? Visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. One person be on audio, okay, so that I can. Okay, so I'm going to NVivo. Another way in which you can do the coding of an interview or a focus group or anything is you go on the left side and press codes. Okay, it will show you all the present for the file which you have made till now. I can see all the codes of my, like you made one code, so I made 30 codes. Right now we made one code, I made 30 codes. Another way of putting this text, I'm still at Garima's file on the right side. You can still see Garima's file. Same process I'm doing. I highlight a sentence. Okay, I don't want to do right click. I want to drag it into community and leave it. Okay, so what have I done? I have dragged it. Okay, I selected, I dragged it to community. Now you see community, this word, this sentence has reached the community code. This is the second way of coding in NVivo. The process is same. What is happening is same. I've just told you 2 processes. Now, if this is clear, please write next. We can see you and not NVivo. Oh, why is this happening? Okay, give me resume your presentation. Resume presentation. Okay. You are presenting the screen. I don't know. Somebody started presenting the screen. Please, everybody, please stay on a mute and please don't. Yeah. Now I'm doing it again. Can you see the NVivo screen now? Can you see the NVivo screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Yes, please, someone be on audio because I'm switching between NVivo and this. One person be with me. Who was the person who just answered? Who was the lady who just answered? Can I know your name, ma'am? Ruchika, please be with me in audio. Okay?
Okay.
Audio. Okay. Now what I'm doing is, Ruchika, very nice. She has told me she can see the screen. I will select this. Again, the file open is the same one only. I click it and I drag it to say Consumer Act. Okay, what have I done? I have selected, highlighted this sentence, dragged it to a pre-made code, say Consumer Act. Okay, how will you come to know that it has been dragged? If you see the number of files in Consumer Act, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th code, just see the number of files. It was 2 references, or you see references. References are 11. The moment I drag it into it, the reference will become 12. So that is why I know that after dragging into this code, it has gone and fitted there. Is it clear? Ruchika, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Can I go next? Ruchika, if just see the chat box and tell me, can I go next? If people are writing
Yes,
next,
sir. Yes, ma'am.
okay, great, great. Okay, everybody's writing next, I'm going to next. Now, this is the coding for interview or even if I take a research paper. Now, let me go to my files and let me do a coding of a picture. Okay, this is for coding of a text. Now, my picture is, suppose my picture is recycle 2. My picture is recycle 2. I have double clicked on recycle 2 and on right side I will first see the picture. So let me wait, it is taking a little bit of time, it's a very heavy software, but doesn't matter. Okay, so this is my picture. I double clicked on recycle. These 8 files that you can see have pictures, have videos, have PDF files, that is literature review, plus they have my interviews. All sorts of file I have imported for you for this session. Now in the picture, when you go, you can just select a part. Now I just selected this brown part. Okay, I selected the brown back. There is a dotted line which comes and I say right click. Okay, and it tells me code selection, same process. And I say, I think I will make a new code for this. So he says create code. And the code is, new code is sustainable material, because khadi is a sustainable material. Khadi is a sustainable material. So what am I trying to code from this picture? That this family, you all by now know my research paper, what it is on, is using, say, khadi, which is a sustainable material. Okay, one more thing I can see in this picture and I want to code, which is the denim bag. And if you see the denim bag, it is nothing but a recycle. What is recycling? There was a denim jeans the family had. It tore it off and made a denim bag. So now I will click and select the denim bag. See, I have clicked and selected the denim bag. The denim bag has come in dotted lines. I will right click, go to code selection. Okay, if I have something called recycle, well and good, or I will put it into, there is money. I think people are also trying to save money by tearing off a denim and making it into a bag. So I say, okay, click money, and down there is code selection to money. Now this picture has been coded into money. Two codes I have found out of the picture. One is sustainable material and one is money. Okay, I am back to my screen just to see on the chat if there are any doubts for this. If there are any doubts for this. Next. Okay, great, great. Somebody else also has to write next, please. Because I want to go at all your pace, even if it takes a lot of time today. Okay, everybody's writing next. Very good. Now, people had a doubt in video. Now, let me go to video. Okay. Voice image? No. Sorry. Uh, okay. Anyways, now, acha, not for you. Okay, sorry, sir. Okay, now I'm going to my video, my input number 3. How a Kerala couple, double click on the right side, you should see the video. Double click how a Kerala couple built a system. I had given you the videos, I think you must have imported by now. So it is taking a bit of a time. Okay, on right side, I have my video. Now, a few of you had asked me, first thing, see on the top, there is something called play, basic functions. It has started, play. And on the left side, there is something called stop. Okay. This play and stop, as I have described in the 2 days video, can be done for manually coding. Okay. But some of you asked me that what if I have to code a certain time? Now listen very carefully. Very carefully, all eyes on this, this meter which is made, this time meter. So what you can do for that is, okay, give me a minute. We can, in a way, just a sec. Just a minute. There has to be a start and stop. I'm just searching that. Where is it? This is the play mode. There has to be a start. Here it is. Here it is. This small little arrow, start selection. Okay. And there is a small little near the play button, a small little arrow saying, if you just go on take the cursor there, it will say start selection. You could also do this by pressing F11. Okay. And below there is an arrow which says finish selection, F12. Okay. Now what you can do is you can start playing the video. I have started the video. I'll just reduce the volume, because you'll not be able to hear me. So I've started the video and I say, okay, start selection from here. Now see, it has automatically started selection. And I press this arrow and I say the next arrow and say stop. Okay. And I stop the video. Now if you see, and it is a little difficult for me to show, I'll try to zoom. I'm trying zooming, but I don't know. If you see, there is this small little box, thin box, if you can see. Small little box, thin box. Can you all see? Ruchika, can you see?
No, ma'am.
Ruchika, very small little box over here. On the blue line, there is a
Yes,
small
yes, yes,
little,
ma'am.
Can even if somebody can see, please say yes and help the others. Okay, so you see this box, and when you see this box, this is the time you wanted to take. So I can go further, okay, and only list this box. So what I can do is, when I say, suppose I start play video. I've started play video. From here I want to code. Let me reduce voice. From here I want to code. I say start coding. Okay. Let it go for some time, because then you'll see the box bigger. And I come to this arrow and I say, now I say stop. Okay. And I stop the video. Let it go on. I want you to show the box. That is why I'm letting the video go on. Video will go on, but my recording has stopped, as in my coding part has stopped. Now let me say I stop. Now can you see this triangle, blue triangle? Now can you see the blue triangle, all of you? Okay. So this is selection of a particular material from this time to this time. You can do by these two arrows, start, okay, and stop. I hope this answers your question. That can we do this for a particular portion of the video and say, okay, this particular portion is, say, talking about money, or this particular portion, say, is talking about sustainability, or this particular portion is talking about simple life. Clear? Or okay, let me come back to now. Yes. Clear, everybody? Yes, I want yes, clear. Okay, clear. Great. Should I go to my next? Should I go to next activity? Great. Coding clear. Now, let me do the second thing which I did on day one, which was classification. These are my files. I'm going back to my files. These are all my files. Okay. They have Facebook data, every data. Now what I do is I go to file classifications. Okay, file classifications. I do a right click and I say there is a new classification. Okay, when you do a right click in classification, it will show you that you can see in 2 days whatever I could complete, I did. And I know many of you are new to NVivo, so I've kept it very basic. But in NVivo, you can import files from SPSS, from Zotero, from Mendeley also. Okay, so when it says classification, file classification, it is just saying that how should I classify a file. Let me save my NVivo, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm saving my file. So new classification. Okay, I say, okay, I want a new classification. What classification do you want? I want that all the files that are there, 8, 9 files, I want to classify them into, say, one is interview. Okay, there is a new classification. Press OK, interview. Okay, can you see interview? Can all of you see classification interview has been made? Like this, you can make classification for video, classification for interview from India, interview from abroad. You can make a file classification of all the files, audio, video, interview, anything in this way. Okay. Now, it doesn't end here. You have just made a box. Classification means you just have made a box. You have still not put your files into the box. So now what I do is I go back to my files. I go back to my files. I've just created a dabba. I've just created a box. Now I say, okay, go to Garima, right click, go down, as I showed in my video, go to classification, okay, and in classification, you see interview. I hope everybody can see, all those who are doing it with me can see, and I say, put it in interview. Similarly, all the files which are interview, Garima is interview, Mrs. Asha is interview, Mrs. Pathak is interview. I will put all those 3 into interview. So what will happen is that first I make a box, every classification, whether I do it for a file classification, whether I do it for a case classification. First I have to make a box. I have to tell the software, listen, this is the box. Second, what I have to do is put items into that box. So from my files, I put item into the box. Now, let me go to my file classification. On the left side, you see interview, double click it, double click interview, go left side, file classifications, double click interview. I want to see, I made a box. I want to see whether the item fell into the box or not. Yes, it has fallen into the box. So the moment you press the classification interview or the box interview, you see Garima in it. Similarly, you could put Mrs. Asha and Mrs. Pathak also into it, because these 3 files out of the 8 are interview. Now, I could do this file classification for interview. I could do it for videos. I could do it for my Facebook and Twitter. What can it be called? It can be called social media. I could do it for that also. Okay. Coming back to my screen. Sometimes I'm okay. Swati, okay. First thing first, is file classification clear? First thing first, you have to give me a thumbs up, clear, and say next, so that I can come. I'm coming to these doubts also. Swati, I'm coming to you. Clear, clear. We can go to next. Very good. Swati ma'am, harmony with nature is a code given by me. You could name it only nature. Some people could code it natural. That is why we say, ma'am, when we are coding, it is a very subjective perspective, you know. So all of you and me will code that one thing which that you know, the Keralite couple say, you know, that we want to be close to nature. So when this video runs, all of us will code it differently. Okay, it is qualitative research is subjective. Had it been objective, it was very easy. Rather, I have papers on EFA, CFA, they are very easy. So Cronbach more than 0.6, reliable, not reliable. Okay. So I hope I've answered your question. I'm going to next. I'm going to my next function. Now I'm going to my case classification. Let me do my case classification. I have some cases. Okay. What are cases? There were questions on the group. What are cases? Cases are nothing but all those input points that I have, they become my cases by default. Okay, so my cases are Garima, how a Kerala couple built, Mrs. Asha, Mrs. Pathak. I could put anything into cases. Okay, but here I'm taking 5 cases. These are my 5 cases. Now my problem is that I know these are my cases. but I want to classify them. Why do I want to classify them? In my research that I did on my own, I was doing a cross study of young Indian women and old Indian women, and how in their home, in their Indian homes, they practice sustainability. Okay, Garima, if you see, is an 18-year-old. Mrs. Asha is 62-year-old. Now I want to tell the software, listen, these two people are different. These two people are different. So I go to case classification. Okay, I'm creating it for you. On the left side, go to case classification. Cases, you know, what are cases? They are all my interviews are my cases. Okay, what is case classification? Case classification, I say right click, right click. It says, what do you want? I say, I want a new classification. He says, what do you want in your new classification? I say, I want to divide them on the basis of age, and I press an OK. Okay, I press an OK. But my work is still not done because I have just told the software I want to divide them on age. I have still not told the software that I want you to divide all my interviewees in young and old. Who's going to tell that? I'm going to tell that. Okay, age is a classification. I right click and it asks me attribute. Age is a classification. Young, old is an attribute. I say new attribute. New attribute, it asks me the name. I say old ladies. Okay, or I simply say, simply let me make it ladies. Okay, and then it says value. It says value. First, in when you say new attribute, it will say general, which is ladies. General, which is ladies. You could do your own research, you could change it. And on the right side, you see one more thing called values. All of those of you who are doing it with me, values. In values below, you will see add. In values below, you will see add. Here you will add old, for me, old ladies. And I also say add. I say young ladies. Okay, and I press an OK. And I press an OK. Just see how things happen. So now, in ladies, I will have these two classification, which is old and young. But I have just made a box. I have still not put my cases into the classification. I have still not put people into the box. What do I do? Same process. Go to my files, and say Garima. Garima, right click, go down to classification. In classification, below, go down, and you see age. This is the box I had made. I go to age and just put Garima into it. And just say an OK. Just say an OK. Don't worry. You must be asking me, ma'am, Garima, you did not define she's young. I'll do that also. Hold on. Put Garima into age classification. I also want Mrs. Asha to be classified on the basis of age. So I right click on Mrs. Asha. I go to classification because I had made a box of age. I can see it and I put it on age. I says age. I say okay. Okay. Mrs. Pathak, right click, classification. I say yes, even she I want to do on age. Okay. Three people have been put into the box age, but okay. Now, but when I go to the category age, I see three people are there in the box: Garima, Mrs. Asha, Mrs. Pathak. But values are not assigned to them. What were the values? They were my attribute. So it will show on right side gray window, you see Garima 18 years unassigned. Drop down and it will show you old and young. Why is it showing you this? Because you yourself made it. In attribute, when you went to value, you yourself made it. It is up to you. You could have said 10 to 18 years, 18 to 25, 25 to 60, 60 and above. You can make 4 categories. Up to you. Absolutely up to you. I made old and young. So I say Garima, please put into young. Mrs. Pathak, please put into old. And Mrs. Whatever the name was, Mrs. this thing, drop down, please put her into old. So this is assigning values. Okay. Now what have you done? You have divided all your interviewees. Of course, I've done it for 3 for shortage of time, but you could do it for many. Okay. Now, let me come back to screen. Yes, questions. Yes. Input file folders, please share. Uh, I have already shared, sir. I have shared everything. Can a picture be called a case? Definitely, Mariam. It will be called a case. Definitely. Okay, let me see more questions also. Is there any provision for ensuring inter-rater reliability in the software just we as do manually? Inter-rater can be done, Upasana ma'am, but in inter-rater also, what do we do in inter-rater? We have two interviewees, we have two reviewers, raters, and we say, okay, he said involved. Now, you will not do inter-rater in the software. You will do it with your data. You will take 20 interviewees data to your PhD scholar or to your senior professor and say, sir, these are my 20 interviews. Should I add them in my input or not? And you will ask that to two reviewers. And on the basis of that, you will select which research papers to add into the analysis and which interviewees to add. That is inter-rater. It is not done within the software. It is done. This is something which you do when you are choosing research papers or when you are choosing interviewees who should become an input to NVivo. This is not done inside the software. Okay. Swati ma'am is asking a question. So ma'am, how can we add harmony with nature along with the existing codes? Swati ma'am, in that selected thing, okay, we had a box. There was a timing. On the timing on the right side, if I write harmony with nature and enter, it will get added into a new code automatically. Like we were doing it for text, when we right clicked and made a new code, it got added. Similarly, for a video and picture also, the moment you right click and add a new code, it will get added. Don't worry. Okay, how Swati ma'am is asking, how can we, okay, Swati ma'am ka ho gaya. Acha, abhi, just a second. Mariam, yes, picture is a case. Mariam, agreed. Input files folder, please. Manisankar sir, I have shared everything. All these input files have been shared on WhatsApp because Anant wasn't able to mail it before the session ends. So I personally had sent it on the WhatsApp. Video I couldn't send because it was huge. So I shared it on Google Drive, and then of course Anant has also shared it. Okay. Ma'am, I want to write a paper on COVID-19 impact of digitalization. So what should I do? Means phenomenology study. We shouldn't literature review. I don't have any paper on it. Okay, fine, no problem. I just have Google blogs like articles. Okay, Deepak Rana sir, you can take articles from whatever you're saying, Money Razor, Hindustan Times, etc. from NCapture. Number one, okay, they are as good as a research paper. Number one. And by the way, when in qualitative research also, for qualitative, quantitative, whatever you say, when I make my introduction chapter in a research paper, I do take data from Forbes magazine when I'm telling the scope of research. I'm writing a paper on luxury, so and it's a qualitative paper. So lately I wrote one on environment. So what happens is I do quote websites like Forbes. They all come from internet. It is not necessary that all data has to come from Google Scholar. No, not at all. So yes, you can take articles from Economic Times from the net. Number one. Number two, you can take blogs. That is number two. Number three, digitalization, whether it's helped in COVID or not. I am dead sure, sir, there might be many hashtags on Twitter already made on this topic. I am dead sure there are hashtags. Please search on Twitter, pick up all those comments. That is the third type of input you can take. Okay, so even if you do not have past review of literature, and one more thing, sir, it is not necessary that you take past review of literature from COVID. I agree. I have done this with my Pearl Academy students when they said, ma'am, there is no sign of any literature from COVID. Doesn't matter. But there was another disease called a SARS virus, which came in 2002. It had similar impacts like COVID. I can use that as a basis for my research. Nobody stops me from doing that. So if there is any such disease, similar disease which has come, which has shaken the economy, I can take that material also for qualitative analysis. Nobody can stop. It's a basis. Of course, COVID will happen only once. What has happened in 2020 will never happen again. So yes, you can take. Okay. And please show how harmony with nature is put under age and gender. No, 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 Parul ma'am, Parul ma'am, Parul ma'am, when I'm dividing these files on age and gender, okay, I am dividing these files on age and gender. You are talking about two different classifications. One classification is that I am classifying on the basis of codes. That is different. One is I am classifying my cases, which are interviews in male, female, or these are two different things. But there is one place where these two will come together. Can anybody who's seen the 2 days video tell me that one place where codes and cases come together? One, okay, it's a map. Hello, or hint de diya. It's a map. It's a map. Yes, yes. Concept map, they come together, and even in the project map. Not in mind map, Mahima ma'am, not in mind map, but in project map. You remember, we used to drag the codes. I'm going to do it again. We will drag codes and then we will drag cases also. So the moment we drag cases, it links the codes with the cases. Okay. So the Kerala couple said harmony, it will get linked in a project map. That is the use of a project map. Okay. So I hope I'm clear on that. Okay. Okay. One more thing. Let me go to questions first, then I'll go forward. Ma'am, please show harmony. Okay, ma'am, please do case classification for videos as well. Case classification for videos as well. Okay, I'll show it. Okay, just let me write down. There are too many points. Just give me a minute. Let me write down what all I have to do. Okay, so you want case classification. Case classification. It's very simple, sir. Go to the video, right click, case classification will come. But anyways, I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. There's nothing to be scared of video. The only thing that cannot be done in video and an image is sentiment analysis. Because the software can only do a sentiment analysis on words. So coding can be done on video and picture. Sentiment analysis cannot be done. Okay. In case classification only for demographics, if we have same demographics, any other, Upasna ma'am, any classification you can do. I'm just giving you an example of demographics. And it's not necessary to do a classification also. If you are studying only female women, only old women, and sustainability on them, there is no classification needed. These are just options. Don't force these things into your research if they are not needed. It is like my PhD students coming to me and saying, ma'am, SEM mein kuch kara do. Do something in structural equational modeling. I said, but your research is qualitative. No, ma'am, it must be qualitative. That is okay. But qualitative is too difficult. I want to do SEM. So it is like force. Don't force a technique into your research, right? Okay. Now, next is Preetam. Preetam, yes, received. Okay. Anant, okay. Puneet Kumar, how codes can be made when a study is like that of Deep Prana, sir? I didn't get your question. Puneet, I need to hear you on audio. Just give me a minute. Okay, can we combine phenomenological study and grounded theory? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I am studying a phenomena based. Yes, Vanshika, you can. You can combine. Okay, mind map. Okay. Puneet, sir, can you unmute? I haven't understood your question. Puneet,
Ma'am, my question is like Vivekananda said, the literature is not available. He has taken articles from blogs,
yes. Oh, acha.
where so how can I make the codes? Because
Sir,
I made that thing, I get a cloud very in a vague manner. I was not able to make any code from that.
I'm going back to NVivo and showing those to you. It will be a part of answering your question plus something that I did in the video. I'm
Okay.
going back to NVivo. Okay, I'm going back to NVivo. Oh, let me save. It'll all go. All my mehnat of 1 week will go off. Okay, I'm going to files. I'm going to files. Two of the files, and it is there in the video also. Sustainable tourism was taken from Twitter. I found very few videos on the internet on Facebook, so I did Facebook also in this workshop. Okay, I took two files. One was sustainable tourism, something which sir is saying, something which Puneet sir is saying, that if I don't have past data, from where do I get data? Fine, I didn't have past data. I took up data from social media. And by the way, I have sent you research papers where the whole data has been analyzed only from social media. So the types of file they have is only sustainable tourism and Zara types. That's it. they don't have interviews, etc. Even that can be done. So I'm just telling you the types of input. Now, sir, there was no past data. I went to sustainable tourism. I input the file. I hope the process of inputting Facebook and Twitter files from NCapture is clear. I'm repeating that you go to import, and in import you go to NCapture. The moment you go to NCapture, import, and you go to NCapture, the moment you go to NCapture, it is taking a little bit of time. It is showing me all the files. It is showing me all the files that I have taken from Twitter or Facebook, or as Sir said, Forbes articles. It will pick up everything. Okay, all that, of course, which you have manually gone and picked up. This is not automatic. Manually gone and picked up, it will show you this. From this, you select a file and import it into your NVivo. So I hope you guys are clear that how do you import files. Unlike other files for desktop, when we go to import, we have to go to NCapture. Okay, and I got two files. One file is sustainable tourism, which came from Twitter. Let me double click it. I want to see the file. I have just double clicked it. Okay, if you see, it came in a Twitter form. It was there in the video also. It came in a Twitter form. Okay, it is very clear. Okay, what was the post? You have the username also, for example, biosphere, etc. Now, sir, I am absolutely with you that I don't have any data. I have only two data, one from Facebook, one from Twitter, and I'm doing an analysis. How can I do? First thing I can do, sir, is an auto code. So I'm going to Twitter. I am going to sustainable tourism in Twitter. I have just clicked it and I say auto code. I say auto code. It will take a little bit of time and I get an auto code wizard. Okay. This what I am doing for Twitter and Facebook can be done to Garima's file, can be done to Mrs. Pathak's file, can be done to Dr. Vyas. If you remember, I have also given you an article from Dr. Vyas, which was past literature review. Okay, that file was also there. This same thing, identifying automated themes or identifying automated codes or identifying sentiment. These two things can be done on any type of file except for video, audio, and picture. So it can be done on PDFs. It can be done on Facebook Twitter tweets. It could be done on your interviewees themes. It could be done on your focus group files. Okay. Now, there are so many tweets. I have only 48, but on your hashtag, you might get some 20,000. Forget doing a word-to-word coding. It is going to become very difficult if you get matter from social media. There are going to be some 20,000 tweets. So the best way is auto code. Don't go by that manual coding I showed you. Go by auto code. And it says identify themes. What is it saying? It is saying let the computer do an automated coding for you. And I say next. Okay, it says identifying themes in the file. It will take a minute. It will take a minute. Let it do the coding. And it will take some time. Okay, that is why I stopped in my video also, because it takes a bit of time. Okay, it is taking a little bit of time. Please bear with me. Okay, here it is. And I say finish. Okay, so it has identified teams and I say finish. I say finish. It is just going to 100%. Give me a minute. Yeah, okay, 100% it is. Okay, and now in the sustainable tourism, if you can read, it shows 48 codes, okay, and these 48 codes, 49 codes it has, automated 49 codes have been made, okay. These 49 codes have 676 references. What is references? Say the number of posts which have been put into these respective codes, 49 codes, okay. So this is auto coding. This is something you can do if you don't have past data. Number one, even in the video, I described to you that this code could be seen in two ways. One is a hierarchy chart. What you see right now on your screen, the colored boxes are hierarchy charts. Okay, so people are talking about sustainable tourism. Within tourism, they are talking about responsible tourism. Within sustainable tourism, they are also talking about tourism stakeholders. So that is why I call it a hierarchy chart. Okay, hierarchy, big to small. Also, this square that you see is the amount of space this theme or this code is taking in the total data of some, say, how many ever tweets or posts you had. Okay. Also, we could on the right side, apart from this hierarchy chart, you can see in two ways. One is this square, one is a pie chart sort of a thing. This is also one way of seeing a hierarchy chart, but I find it better in this way because it gives me clarity. Okay, all codes have been colored differently. Okay, now summary. If I see the summary, it will give me the number of codes, okay, and in the number of items. So that is a summary. So these are the two ways of seeing data from say analysis of data, which is auto coding. There is another thing which you can do. I'm again going back to my original find, tourism, sustainable tourism. I'm double clicking it so that I can see it in the Twitter form once again. Here it is. I'm again on my original file. Now I will do a second thing with it. What will I do? I will go to auto code. I will go to, just a second. Let me go to home. In home, I will go to auto code. And in auto code, it's taking a bit of time. Okay, in auto code, now I say identify sentiment. Let me see, like sir said, COVID-19 has never happened. It has never happened. So I take some 20,000 posts from Twitter and I say, okay, let me analyze what is the sentiment of people regarding COVID-19. Okay, or if it is consumption in COVID-19, all the more better, you can actually tell the managers. That what is the sentiment of people during this COVID-19 time for consumption. And I go to next. So now here is my, and I go to finish, and here I will get sentiment analysis of my Facebook or Twitter data. I'm doing it with Twitter for shortage of time. You could do it with any data. Mind you, these two things that I'm doing can be done with an interview, can be done with a review of literature file, can be done from blogs. I had said in the video also, it can even be done on my boss's emails. There is an option of import Outlook messages. So I could actually select all the Outlook messages of my boss and see what is his sentiment towards me. Is he positive? Is he negative? Is he very negative? Is he moderately negative? Is he moderately positive? I could do that also. Okay, so that is the power of software, of course. Okay, so here you go. You see that most of the people, when they talk about sustainable tourism, they are neutral. Okay, but a very few are negative. Okay, and if you see the positive ones, okay, the green one, okay, it shows code references 20, which means at least 20 tweets are talking about positivity. And what was my total number of tweets? My total number of tweet, if you've seen the file, was somewhere around, I think, 49 or 45. So now this is your whole intellectual analysis. If out of 49 tweets, some 20 codes, 20 references are positive, which means yes, people are still positive about COVID-19. Okay, people are still positive about COVID. I mean, if I say consumption of, COVID. So these are the two ways in which you analyze. I hope the question is clear. One more thing I want to show you when it comes to social media data. I go to sustainable tourism. Again, I'm again going to my original file. This is my original file. There are ways in which I can view this. So the by default view, of course, is table. Okay, but you could see it in the form of a chart. On the right side, you have 4 or 5 views, So I'm going and showing this in the form of a chart. Why should I see it as a table? Let me see it as a chart. It's taking a bit of a time to process. It is quite a heavy software. It takes me a lot of time while working on it. Although the visuals are very good, all this coding process can even be done manually. So there are professors who tell me that, Jaspreet, why do you do NVivo? Go and do it manually. Okay, so this is your core, this is your all your data, okay, in a graphical form. Okay, so see, if you can see, you see the highest amount of tweets for good tourism. Okay, so people are very positive about when I'm what is this? I'm analyzing sustainable tourism, and I'm getting the highest number of posts for good tourism. What does this show? People are positive about sustainable tourism. Okay, whether past literature tells me or not, this data tells me so much. Okay, further there is cluster analysis. I'm showing you all the forms because I just want to revise also what I've done in the past 2 days, and then I'll come to questions also. Okay, so most of the things I think we have wrapped up. I think we are left with, I think the only thing I'm left up with map. Social media also has been done. So only thing I think I'm left with map, but I'll just come to that. Just give me a minute. So these are clusters, okay, hierarchical clusters on the basis of the usernames. Okay, then there are maps. Okay, what is a map? It shows you from which region has the post come. We do this analysis very often in marketing. So if the posts have come from one place, all the posts have come from one place, it means it is not an organic post. It is something which has been generated by the company. Okay, so these are the maps. It's just opening up. Here it opens. So I have all my tweets come from which all places. So imagine there is nobody from Australia or South America tweeting on sustainable tourism. So what does this show me? If I see a lot of people in North America and Europe tweeting on sustainable tourism, what does it mean? What does it mean? I can conclude that people of these continents are more prone to sustainability per se. And there is something called a Twitter sociogram on the right side. Again, you will have something called a Twitter sociogram. What will this show? It will display all the tweets in the form of linkages with the user ID. So again, just give me a minute. It is just opening up Twitter sociogram.
Till the time I'm answering
Yeah,
this,
yeah. Please tell me questions. Yes, yes.
all these things are very colorful. Research paper in a journal, they would charge us. How can we save that cost?
Acha, 1 second, sir. Yeah, please can you repeat your question now? Yes, can you repeat your
I'm
question?
saying these charts and maps are very colorful. When we go for publishing, they will charge us. How can we save those costs?
Sir, I cannot answer that question. I mean, if you want those charts to be colorful and codes are always colorful, it's always better to represent. I mean,
Of
that's
course, ma'am,
absolutely
every paper there must be at least 4 to 5 colorful pictures,
yes, yes, yes,
and they are high definition pictures.
yes, they are.
So is there any way that we can go for black and white picture or something like that?
Yes, yes, you can quote a black and white picture. More so, sir, in most of the NVivo papers that I've sent you, except for one. There was
Okay.
someone who asked me that, ma'am, show us a concept map in a paper. That is why I
Okay.
sent you that one paper which has a concept map. Otherwise, sir, even if you see a concept map made in most of the papers which have used qualitative research, you see the map made on a Word document.
Yeah.
So that is fine. That is up to you. That is
Okay.
up to your this thing. Okay,
Okay.
let me see the other questions also. In focus group discussion, how many people can be there? On an average, ma'am, 10 to 15. We don't take too many, we don't take too less. On an average, 10 to 15. And do not quote me. I'm not that huge an academician. I'm still a learner. Please quote Malhotra and Dash 2020. Okay, if you go and read his focus group, what he says about how many people there should be, he says 10 to 15, 10 to 12 rather. I'm extending it to 50. How can we put these charts in our final papers? You can just export these, ma'am, and put into your final papers. But, ma'am, a research paper is not visual heavy. Whenever you see a good research paper of a journal, it's not visual heavy. Please put a chart only where it's needed. Most of the charts that I've seen is a word count. Okay. Okay. How using NVivo software, a qualitative method of coding and theming, can answer the research question to find effectiveness of XYZ? Okay. Let me say effectiveness of. Okay. Let me take an example of HR. There was a qualitative research FTP I heard of Dr. Sajid Pradhan from IMI Delhi, and he gave a very good example of his field of research. He said, I'm working on abusive supervision. Now, let me answer Asha Lata ma'am's question. How can this coding help me to find out the effectiveness of abusive supervision on people? So what he did is he went and collected data from the subordinates who were given abusive supervision. He went and collected interviews of those people, particularly some 20 to 25 interviews of an organization subordinates who were given supervision through abuses. Okay, and he asked them, did it increase your effectiveness or did it decrease your effectiveness? He did a qualitative research on that. Okay, so this is, I hope this answers your question. Anything else you want to know? I think let me go. Okay, this is a just last 1 minute. Twitter sociogram. These are groups which are tweeting the same thing. It is like saying they are groups of people, social people together, who are tweeting the same thing or are on a similar theme. Okay, this is the last thing. Now please, questions. Yes, please unmute and questions. I have almost wrapped up the whole
Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Hello.
One by one.
This is this side. Hello.
Yes, Swati ma'am, I can hear you.
Yeah, ma'am, let's suppose that we have some set of videos on which we want to do a research on, and we have predetermined codes or classification for those videos. We have already described on what basis we want to judge these videos on. So, ma'am, how can we do it in NVivo? Do we go for case classification?
Let me show it to you right now. I'm going to NVivo. Why give you an let's give you
and also, ma'am, I want to know what would be the further interpretation of those judged cases.
I'll explain. See, I am on NVivo now. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
See my screen. So what I'm doing is I'm going the other way around. If you remember in my video, I told you could either go through grounded theory, where you do a analysis and then make a theory, or you could go for content analysis, where I have a theory in mind and I'm trying to prove it through my qualitative data. So now, ma'am, let me go to codes. Okay, let me go to codes. Okay, and I say I want a new code. I have a code in mind. Why I say I have a code in mind is because I have a theme in mind. Okay, so I go to new code. Okay, and I know that this video is about to show, say, customer satisfaction. So I say customer, I make a code first. Customer, please don't mind my spellings. I'm just doing this for the sake of demo. And I say okay. Now, there is a code created which is called customer satisfaction. Okay, there is a code created which is customer satisfaction. First thing first, now I go to my files. I'm doing it the other way around now. Now I go to how a Kerala couple, this was my video which was showing, suppose, customer satisfaction, my predefined code. I say right click, okay, and I go to, just a second, okay. Okay, give me a minute. I can't see the code I've made somehow. Where's my code? I somehow can't see the code. Give me a minute now. Open video, no. Create as, no. Add to statistics, no. There should be an add to code. Code to recent codes. Money, here it is. So it says code to recent code. So let it be, suppose it was money or community. I just put it into money. So now what I've done, are you sure you want to now it will ask you, are you sure you want to code the entire video? And I say confirm. So now if I go to my, see, it says coded to money. On the left side, it shows coded to money. So now when I go to code and I go to money, just see, I'm just showing you whether you could do the same with customer satisfaction also. So now when I'm going to money, the video should show. It's a very heavy file, might take time. Yeah. So see, I have opened money, and one of your references how a Kerala couple built a sustainable mud house. Okay, I hope I have answered your question. Okay.
Ma'am, another question is, how can we do this case classification in case of video? Like, I
How,
have
I didn't hear you, ma'am. Classification on the basis of.
sorry, if I have some predetermined classifications, like if I want to check whether the lady is old or young, or I want to know whether the lady in the video belongs to a rich family or a low, yeah, or a very poor family, then how can we go on to for case classification in that case?
And the process is same. You will make a case now. Again, I go to how a Kerala couple. This is a video. I think probably the video has lured you all too much, but the processes in the video are absolutely same as it is of an interview. But this is my video. Right click. Okay. Go to classifications. Okay. See, there is an age classification. There's a gender classification which is showing on video also. So I say, okay, go to an age classification. Okay. Now my yeah, and I say okay. Now let us see. Doesn't matter. It's okay. I can give you time.
Yeah.
Let me go to my case classification called age. Let me check whether it's been put into. Yes, in age I can see how a Kerala couple build a sustainable house. But the problem is there is no assignment made. In Kerala couple were old or young? They were old. So I say okay, old. And this old young, if you remember, I just showed you, we had just made a.
Yeah, ma'am, in this case only, where we have this these all these filters, and we have segregated them on the basis of their young or old. So how can we further interpret in our paper? Like we have done this in the NVivo. Now, how can we take it further? This
See, ideally, you know what this is being done is it is just showing you a classification. See, I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. In that example, I will cover the another thing which I have done in 2 days. You all had gone to explore, if you remember. And in explore, I have explained word count. Okay, I'm just showing you how these classifications help you. Now in word count, it always tells you select items. Just see select item window. It will show you all your 8-9 files if you want to straight away select the file. But there is also on the left side something said file classifications, codes, sentiment, so on and so forth. So I'm doing this practically for you. I say just do the word count for all the sentiments. Okay, just do the word count for all the sentiments. Okay, in sentiment, when I click on sentiment, it will say which category do you want. You want me to find out the word count for all the positive sentiments or the negative sentiments, and I say okay, find out all the word count of the positive sentiments, and I say okay. I could further do a +1 category. For example, I go to codes. I click on code. And in coding, suppose I say, okay, there are 3 files I have, new code 2, and Zara. I say, okay, go to only the codes of Zara review. Now, what have I done? I have done a double classification. One, I told him only code the Zara reviews. Okay. Number 2, I have told him do a sentiment analysis of the Zara codes of only positive sentiments. Okay. Further, I could go to case classifications. Okay. I could tell him, please do the same for, say, only people with different gender. I selected gender and I say an okay. So this one query that you have, okay, this one, and whenever I do this, I select with synonyms. Okay, I generally do with synonyms and I do a run query. Now, this what you have done is, this is where NVivo helps you in selective word count. Otherwise, what it would have done, it would have said, okay, Give me all of Garima. Give me all of Asha. Give me all of Pathak. That is all it would have done. Here it gives you a choice of doing inter-cross selections of classifications of codes, etc., and finding out a query only for that. So these are all the Zara positive points for the Zara codes. It doesn't have any other file. How did it happen? I just selected items and told it to do a cross. Again, quickly, just to revise, in a word code, you have a summary like this, okay, which is a number summary, which says how many times the word has come. So, for example, Zara has come 587 times. There is something on the right side called a word cloud. So it will, out of this, it will make a word cloud. I'm just revising what I've done because you people wanted a live session. This is almost like a live session for 3 days. Okay, so just give me a minute. It is word count. Okay, by the time it is processing and I'm on NVivo, open to the questions. Please unmute and ask me questions because it takes time in processing. So please unmute and ask me questions. Any question, any other question, please feel free. Yeah, so this is a word cloud. Okay, there was also a tree map. I'm going to the next one. This is a tree map or a hierarchy.
Hello.
And last is yes.
Hello, ma'am. One more
Yes,
question, and I just
This is
wanted to
cluster.
ask when you were doing coding for videos wherein you were giving some particular time and there is a particular code for that. After that, what is the process further to analyze the video? Like you have given some codes like harmony with nature, all of those codes you have given. After that, what we should do to analyze the video? Like how do we take this forward?
I got it. Ma'am, see, why are we
Can
giving?
you show, ma'am? Can you show it in the software?
I'm showing it.
Yeah.
See, please try and understand why I am doing this. Please try and understand why I am doing this.
Okay.
I am coding interviews, then I'm coding videos, then I'm coding images. Now let me show this to you consolidated. And the way in which it is shown consolidated was the project map, if you remember. Let me show it to you. It will be a revision of maps also. All your questions will lead me to a revision of the topic. So now let me go to my files. First, let me come to my files. Do I have 8 files? I'm going to files and I'm doing a map just to show you why we are doing this coding to everything, video also, picture also. Now see, now I go to explore. In explore, I go to map. Let me do one type of map, which is project map. Okay, and I say demo for live is my map name. And I say an OK. And I said an OK. I just take a little time. Okay, so this is my map. Now what I'll do is I will go to my codes. Let me go to my codes or auto-generated codes or whatever. So this code, when I go to code, it will not only show me the manual coding that I have done with interviews, it will also show me the auto coding that I did to Facebook and this. So, you know, when you say code, it doesn't differentiate, acha, video, different code. No, it shows you total codes. So that is the good thing about a map. Just taking a little bit of time. Okay, while I'm doing the process, if anybody else, okay, yeah, here we have codes. Here we have codes. So let me take auto themes. Okay, now these are my automated themes. Okay, and let me say I drag consumer act. Just a second. I drag consumer act. Okay, I drag communities. Just an example. I'm doing this only with 3. And I drag consumption. I just want to see, what I'm trying to see is, see, files are not important to me. What is important is my concept. And my concept will be made out of these codes. I want to see, is this concept being repeated in all my inputs, be it videos, be it interviews or not? So how do I do that? How do I do that? I have these three major concepts. I feel these are my three major concepts. I pull them and drag them into the project map. Next, I go to my files. Next, I go to my files. Now, let me do it with only one file, Kerala couple. Kerala couple. I click on Kerala couple. Just a second. I click on it and I drag this also into my project map, and see, automatically the software has shown that in the Kerala couple file you had these three. But I'm not satisfied. Why should I be satisfied? I want to see, I had 8 sets of data. I had 8 sets of data, interviews, video. Let me drag interviewee also. Let me drag Miss Garima into the map and let me see, is she connected? Yes, she also said the same 3 codes. Now let me drag a picture, recycle 2. This is a picture. Let me drag picture also into it. The picture didn't say any of these. The picture didn't say any of these. Let me drag Mrs. Asha. I'm just making it more complex. I'm just making it more complex. I'm dragging Mrs. Asha. Here you go. So what do you see? Let me arrange it a little. Now, what do you see? You see a crisscross. Now, this is the point where all the hard work that you've done into coding. Let me complicate this further. I have not taken my sustainable tourism post, my Zara post, my Facebook. Facebook was another input. Let me drag in Facebook also. Why should I leave this? Okay, I dragged it. I dragged sustainable tourism. So can you see the number of files which talk about community? See, I have to make use of the theme, not of the input. Whether it is a video or an audio or a social media or a PDF, it's not important. What is important is my code. So this is the first map that I make after I do all my coding. And this I've done only for 3 codes and 5 files. You will further do it for some 150 codes and some 60 files. It will become a very complicated map, and then you will study it intellectually. Okay, now if you see, community is one code which has been spoken about by 3 inputs out of 8. Consumption is one code which has been, if you see the video, how useful my video was, it was speaking about 3 codes. I can further complicate this. So a project map, what does it show? It shows that what are people talking about my theme, whether they are talking in a video, whether they are talking in an interview, whether they are talking in a picture. Am I on the right path? So if I say these were my 3 themes and most of my inputs are talking about it, which means this thing is important. It should be a part of the theory, or else it should be a part of an item of a construct. This is why we are doing the coding. I hope it is clear. Okay, how can word cloud be used in our research? Swati, I just told you. I'll give you an example also, Swati ma'am. My Pearl students use the word cloud very often because what they do is they pick up what they have done lately is that they have or should I show it to you? It'll take a little bit of time, but let me go to that. Anyways, I don't see any other questions. If there are, please, while I'm operating on the software, please open to questions. Now, this is what they took the Zara post from Facebook, my students. Okay. And very good question that what is the use of this word count? It is not only to make a word cloud, by the way. It is of too much of use. So here they went to Zara. Now, this is the Zara post. Okay, the Facebook post. Okay. I have already done an auto coding, by the way. Okay, so there were some 3,773 references. That was huge. I didn't want to do it manually. I did an auto code. Auto code gave me 157 codes. Okay. Now what I have to do is that I have to what was I about to do? Yeah. So I want to explore, let me do text search. In this, you will understand text search also, which was my next thing which I was about to do. Now I go to text search. Okay. And in text search, let it open. It takes time. Let it open. Okay. And here is my text search. Okay. And in the Zara showroom, I want to see if the consumers had a problem with service. Let me just write one word, service. That's it. And I say, okay, synonyms also. Yes, I want synonyms of service. And I say run query. I am finding out whether if there was a problem with the service or not. Service or not. Just can you give me a moment? I'll just get my charger. Just give me a minute. Till the time this query is run, I've already run it. I'll just get my charger. Give me a minute. I just got my charger. Has the output come? It is coming. It is searching. It is still searching. It is still searching, taking a bit of time. Okay, the questions till the time. Okay, here it is. The moment I start questions, it gives me output. I think it's jinxed. Okay, so here it is. So Zara post, just see Zara post. I think probably I had selected more than one files. Now, if you see the Zara post, it says some 70 references. So on social media, 70 people have made a just a second, text query. Give me a minute. 70 people have made a mention of the word service. 70 people have made a mention of the word service. Now, I don't end over here. I know that people are concerned about service, which means when I am finding out about when I'm analyzing the Facebook post of Zara, I found 70 references, which is huge, which means people are talking about it. It's a major theme. I have to go further on the right side and go to references. Let me see. What are they talking about in service? What are they? And companies do this very often. Companies nowadays are actually paying consultants for doing all this. So if you know NVivo and have good contacts in the corporate, you could probably do this for companies. Okay, so this is my references. It is just opening. Okay, here are my references. Now, please read the references. Worst customer care service ever. Come to the second one. You speak with customer service, Zara India, but there is no resolution. Reference number 3. Your customer service would have stooped down so low. Okay. Reference number 4. I'm just giving you an example of how you analyze data. This is practical files. Something on this, but the customer service response was so rude. Okay. Further, I could further go and form a word tree. Now, word tree gives me a visual. Now look at customer service. Most of the times the word service has been used. It has been used with customer service. And look at the words that have been used. Poor, pathetic, poor quality, bad experience, uneducated. Okay, and XYZ bad words also. So now what do you conclude? Now tell me, as managers, you have done an analysis. What do you conclude? Are satisfied with Zara? Are customers satisfied with Zara merchandise? They are not. For some reason, customer service is a very, very big property. And even within customer service, when you see quality is a very big problem, that is what we found out from analysis of social media of Zara. Okay, yes. Now, yeah, where do we find map? In Explore. We find map. Okay, ma'am, can you please show how to pull information from FB or Twitter? I think we did it with N capture. Should I show it again? I will. I'm just noting it down. I will. Okay. What is the time period of the data collected from Twitter using capture? What is the time period? I didn't get you, Pasna ma'am. I didn't get you. Can you please unmute and speak your question? Pasna ma'am, can you please unmute?
Yeah, my question is that when we are capturing the data using encapture from any social media platform like Twitter, so it
Yeah.
gives us all the posts. Is there any way that we can also understand the time period, or is it like obviously these posts can be old also,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So
I,
how do
I
we?
think
Yeah.
I think there is an option of deciding on posts on time. There is an option there. I think there is an option. It does show. You will have to check on Twitter, etc. If you guys have your account and you go to say hashtag sustainability, this is how I found out. Of course, I'm not logged into Twitter right now. If you want, I can, but I'll keep it to the end because it'll take a little bit of time. I'll show it to you. There is an option of time period of posts.
Yeah, I mean, for a trending topic, it makes sense that we can get the data of the recent tweets. But if we
Yeah.
talk about hashtag Zara, it would culminate all the posts that have been generated over years. So, how
Yeah.
do we conclude about the service, particularly in the time period that we're looking for? Maybe they are old, maybe they are recent ones. That is what I wanted to know.
I haven't found any way of this. The only thing I can suggest you is that if you there are hashtags on Twitter, etc., which say 2020. When I was doing this, importing data for you, it was taking me very long because they were posts from some how many years social media has been available. So what I did is, well, how I decided the time is I did hashtag sustainable tourism 2020. So that is one way in which you can find out. It would be better to only take the last year's posts. So if you do hashtag and then sustainability and then 2020, then only the 2020 posts will come. Because what happens is if you're putting in the search 2020, then obviously only the posts which have been dated in 2020 will come. And then you can pick it up. Right?
So, do we have to use different hashtags, or is it just hashtag
No,
sustainability?
you have to. No, you have to use different hashtags.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
and you
thank
have to go. It's not that easy. You'll have to first go and study on social media if there is a hashtag of your topic or not.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you. If there are any ways to decide if we have to go for quantitative or qualitative data, so it depends on the research objective. For this, okay, I think I can share with you a few more, if I can, on your IDs. There's this introduction of research FTPs that I do. So in that, I do explain how to decide qualitative and quantitative. Maybe I can share those videos with you. It's absolutely fine to me. No problem. I'll share this. Because this is a conceptual basic question. It has nothing to do with qualitative. Okay. Any other questions, please? About
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in a couple of
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
I think I lost ma'am wherever she was. Okay. Any other questions? Please, the house is open to questions. Anything? Yeah.
NVivo software only helps to build a theory or concept model, or we can do further analysis like this. If I just want to found a relationship between the constructs or factors, ma'am, that can happen in this software or not?
It can happen, ma'am. If you remember the concept map. No, even in concept map, you have to move a relationship. You have to, yeah, if you remember in the concept map, we were doing something similar to project map. We used to drag the codes and then we used to put up arrows like we put in a Word document, similar. So software will not do it for you. Everything you will have to do yourself. You must be shocked to see that even coding has to be done yourself, ma'am. Otherwise, I have come across, and even when I was attending my workshop with Dr. Sajid Pradhan, IMI Delhi, now he's an IIM Trichy. So, all due regards to whatever you have heard me, Dr. Sajid Pradhan, all due regards to him, because that is when I understood that qualitative research is not that easy. It's not that you just dump in PDFs and suddenly, yes, the software can do it when it comes to auto code. Auto code is one function where it can do it, but I've said in the video it's not very reliable. You have to go in for a one-to-one. NVivo is just a way of organizing your things and visually seeing it well. That's it, like the project.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions? Any queries to NVivo? QDA Minor, those of you who have downloaded QDA Minor, please let me know. I will guide you on the WhatsApp group on how to work on that. That also I will help you, because end of the day, you should take home some aspect of coding, whether you do it on NVivo or QDA Minor. Yes.
Ma'am, I have one question. Upasna this side.
Yes.
When we are analyzing data on social media, and there could be some posts which are sarcastic in nature, because that is how now people have started writing and tweeting. So when we do a sentiment analysis, obviously I want to ask you if the software is capable to understand the negative or the positive sentiment, or is it led to the researcher? Ma'am, I am not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, please put a yes. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to Zara India Post.
Yeah.
Okay, Zara India Post. Can you see the NVivo sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I go to auto code. I'm just doing this for you, and I say identify sentiment. That is all I have to do. And I go to next, and I go to finish. Now it will show me all the negative posts made for Zara and all the positive one. But I have to further analyze. I have to see the references of negative and see what negative are people talking about. Are they talking about customer service being negative? Are they talking about sales people being negative? That is again on me. So of course the software will help me, and it is analyzing. It will take a bit of time, but I have to do my own analysis also, ma'am. Okay, so it's taking time. I'll just show you the sentiment analysis of Zara. Okay, we do it very often. Till the time, let me take any other questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please tell me.
Ma'am, in a couple of qualitative papers, they show the cross tab of case classification in the result findings.
Yes, yes.
So, ma'am, can you please help me in knowing how it is that?
See, cross tab, there are many things that I have left out because this is not a 5-day session. So there is a cross tab I have left out. There are relationships building which I have left out. Okay. So what I intend to do is, I will be covering these in videos and putting it on YouTube. Okay. All these things, because it was a 3-day session. So there are people very new to this. People were very new. So cross tabs, relationships, and there's something called a matrix query where you input data from SPSS. Okay, cross tabs, etc., more to do with demographic data, more qualitative. So all these 3-4 things you can write down in the group. I will make YouTube videos and put it up on YouTube. Okay, or I will share videos with you.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? So because of shortage of time, I cannot cover everything. But if there's anything like this, cross tabs, relationship, one more thing, matrix queries, I can make small videos and put it in the group, no problem. You can use them, no problem at all.
Ma'am, one more question. For Twitter sentiment analysis, I will have to put only one hashtag. Can't we put multiple hashtags? Like I want, as I put in chat box, I want to study the stress at home during COVID-19. So what should be my hashtag? It is two hashtags should be there, like stress at home and COVID-19, or how it will extract.
No, no, sir. I have done this myself yesterday to input data. So when I wrote sustainability, hashtag sustainability, there were many posts. Then I tried sustainability. Now, this is something which is a hit and trial. It's a keyword thing. When you type stress at home, hashtag stress at home, you might not even get one post. But
Yes.
it will give you suggestive posts like stress with COVID, stress
Yes, sir.
at COVID. So it will give you those suggestive posts and you can pick up those.
Okay, so I'll have to do it manually. It's like a manual thing, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
You have to know the hashtag. Of course, the younger generation, I think, will be better off. They know exactly where to get. I mean, they know what hashtags are going on also. They are so much on social media that they know the hashtags which are going on nowadays. So probably it needs help. Okay, the difference between a project map and a concept map, Mariam ma'am. In a project map, we are just it is an initial stage, when we are analyzing data just to see which codes are getting the maximum relevance, which codes are becoming very heavy vis-a-vis others. Okay, a concept map is the final map. After that, you can't make changes. So that is like a concept map is like a result of your all analysis that you have done. So that is the difference between a project map and a concept map. Even in a concept map, you have these arrows of relationship. This affects this, this affects this. It can only be made when you have done a thorough analysis of all the types of input. But in a project map, if you see, there are no arrows saying this affects this, this. It just shows codes and it shows the files in which those codes are present. That's it. It doesn't make relationships. The relationships are made in a concept map. Okay, any other question? Okay, let me see if I got the sentiment analysis I wanted to show ma'am in NVivo sentiment analysis. Meanwhile, any further questions about qualitative research, or although I see only 26 participants, I was expecting more, but anyways. And anything in NVivo you want, please put it up. You want me to make a video, I'll make a video, I'll demonstrate it, and I'll send it over to you people. Okay, so this is, if you can see, this is the sentiment analysis. So this is on social media of Zara. These are the sentiments of people. Okay, now what I am most problematic with is the negative sentiment, because as a company I want to know what are the negative sentiments. So if I double click on negative, the area which is negative, which is some orangish area, it says some 70 codes. Okay, so if I double click on this, it will show me all the negative sentences of Zara, so that I can finally see them and analyze that what are people negative about. Okay, so once it shows me this, or if I go to text query, it shows me a very good cluster. So like we just saw in text query, it showed that in negativity, what were the, so this is a hierarchy chart. This is a summary chart. Okay, so in a summary chart, you have further negative, neutral, positive. So just let me go to negative. I'm double clicking negative. There are 70 which are negative. There are 415 which are neutral. Positive are 35, which is not good. So most of the people have been classified as neutral. So if I'm double clicking negative, let me see what are the negative. The moment I double click, it will show me all the references of negative sentiments. Okay. Okay, so yeah, here they are. These are the references. Okay. Poorest merchandise you people make, quality is horrible. Zara, you were a brand of repute for me until I had completely unexpected and unwarranted experience of your Ambience Gurgaon store. So there's a problem with merchandise. There's a problem with store. Now these all become your codes, by the way. These all become your codes. These all becomes your theme. A worst customer service. That's the third reference, is you fool customers. So I would quote this as trust issues. Service is poor. Again, I would put this sentence again into service. Cheated today, trust issue. I would put this reference into trust. Pathetic customer service. This is the third reference of customer service. Very disappointing. Saket Select. This is the second time a mall has been named. So they named Ambience Mall Gurgaon, and now they have named this mall. So the retail point of purchase is also a problem, and so on and so forth. I can go on analyzing this. I hope it is clear. Social media is clear. Now you all can write a paper. If any of you want to write a paper and you have problems, do let me know. I'm also looking at qualitative collaborations, provided it is the same theme as that of mine. Yeah, ma'am, I will. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Yasho Mandira, ma'am. Okay, I will.
Yeah, Yasho Mandira. So
Okay,
much.
I will be, ma'am. You will have to give me some input. You will have to put it on WhatsApp. What do you want in NVivo? I'll make a small video, put it to you right away in the group. No problem. So this interaction doesn't end here, and I'm working touchwood with a very good organization, which is Anand. It's really a good organization. I wanted to speak, if you could just give me half a minute on what happened on the first day. So So, every organization has a different policy. I, as a resource person, when I was working with Dr. Ajay Chauhan, he's a very, very popular resource. Okay. But there was a policy in his company, Research Siksha, that they don't give videos. So there's a 2 hour live session. And even while questioning, somewhere around 15 minutes of questioning, and that's it. So you cannot expect that all 60 people will be answered. So I adhered to his policy when I was working with him. Then further, last session of mine, which was on meta-analysis with Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute, which is a CAT college, they ran this whole program on uh, Microsoft Teams rather than Zoom. So some people had a problem with Microsoft Teams because it was complex. But then it is a policy of Lal Bahadur Shastri that they only do seminars on that. So, sometimes it does, but as far as my experience with Anant is concerned, this is my second seminar, and they are too good to give the videos for 24 hours. I haven't seen many people giving it for 24 hours. So that's one thing which is very, 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 very good. Now they have been kind enough to give you the videos forever. So they've already put up a link on YouTube. So they are very flexible people. They are very good people. And of course, next time, whenever we have a seminar on a technical topic, so much so that we discussed this yesterday, we are always open to feedback. And we have discussed this. And for all our next seminars, which are technical, say NVivos or meta-analysis, we will be doing a 3D live also, provided there's a need for it. And we will be specifying that. They will be specifying that in the brochure also. Okay. Yes. Anything else? Anything else? And my next seminar is on meta-analysis, which is an end of this a month. So, and all of you, please be connected on LinkedIn if you really want to know about my seminars. And I will be putting up workshops on the group also. I hope you enjoyed this one. Any other questions, or we can call it a day? Any questions, please? Anything you want to, even if you want to share your screen, you're open to do that. If there is anybody who wants to share his or her screen, NVivo having a problem, please share it. Please share your screens if you want to. No problem.
Ma'am, if you want to buy NVivo, you
Yeah.
mentioned that you had a student version of it. I think that
Yes.
gives a certain discount. So I'm not sure about the requirement for that. Can you please let us know about that?
A requirement, as in, see, all these features that I've shown you was done on a student workshop, student view, So, okay, thanks for all the good comments that I'm having. Thank you so much. It's really very motivating for me as a resource person. We're putting in a lot of effort, so when this comes, it's very good for us. Thank you so much. Yeah, NVivo, there is as I told you, there's a small version of $30. So what people do is that I of course have bought it because I am on a regular basis doing qualitative research. I have papers. You can go on ResearchGate. I'll put my profile link on the group. You can check out the papers. There are qualitative research papers also which have yeah, let me just share my email ID. It is just free in case you want to ever come back for a paper or collaborate. Yeah. So if you go to ResearchGate, you will find my qualitative analysis papers also. Okay, recently I got one published in an ABDC-C, of course. I have reached ABDC-B. I'm targeting for ABDC-A this year. So I have a little bit of a knack of what people want. So anything, okay, NVivo $30. What I do is whenever I come at the analysis point, I just initially what I used to do is I just used to buy that $30 thing. It comes for 2 hours. Within 2 hours, I used to analyze and finish it off. And further, of course, you can buy a student version for 7,800 rupees, if I'm not wrong. You could negotiate also. Nowadays these guys are really, really they all softwares are pretty cheap. I think now they will be more in negotiation mood than pre-COVID. Right? Anything else? Or can we call it a day? Okay, thank you for all the lovely comments. Please stay in contact on the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group will remain live. Any queries even after this will be entertained. My email ID is there with you, and of course LinkedIn for any further workshops that happen. Can you please show how to pull in? Oh, yeah, Mariam, yes. Let me show you. So Mariam, I'll have to go to Facebook then. Just a second. I'll have to open a new tab. Give me a minute. I didn't prepare for this. I'll just go to my Facebook account and see if I'm logged in. I can probably show it to you. Give me a minute. Okay, so okay, all of you have to have a Twitter account if you want to extract data. I hope you know that. So let me show you. You just want any example, na? So I can open a paper also. So religion impact on intention. Just let me see. I'm opening a paper on an article, and how now if you see on my Google, you can see this right side corner. You can see this end capture for NVivo. It's a blue globe with an orange tape sort of a thing. So if I go to this one article, okay, so I'm going on my first article. For all those who said there are no past papers, I'm going on this article. Okay, this is my article, and I go to NVivo, sorry, N capture on the right side corner. If you have downloaded it in a good way, in a way that it is working, in N capture, you just click. It's taking a bit of time. Okay, and it opens a window saying capture for NVivo. It will give you two options, web page as PDF or article as PDF. I would prefer web page as PDF, and I will say capture. I will, if you want a description to be given, you can describe. For example, in description, you can write article for religiosity. That is one of my themes of research. Okay, and I go to capture. In this window, I go to capture and I capture it. Okay, now on the right side corner, you can see N capture notification. So it shows that the capturing is in progress. There is also a blue color tagline which shows show capture progress page. So I'm clicking on this. Now this is my page, okay, which shows that what is the progress. The religious belief article which I was doing, what is the progress? This page shows that the status is tick. Which means it has been downloaded. Now what do? I go to my NVivo. And I go to import. I go to NVivo. I go to import. In import, I go to N-capture. Okay, in import, I go to N-capture. And in N-capture, whatever files have been downloaded through the website, it will not only show me this present file, it will show me as many files as I had uploaded in, say, past 6 months. It is showing me all. It is even showing me that sustainability Twitter file, which I had used for the demo class. Okay, so these are all the files that have been. If you see, the first one is influence of religious beliefs. Okay, you untick the others. Okay, untick the others, which means I only want one, which is the influence of religious beliefs, to be imported into NVivo. So I just untick the others and I just say, okay, import only, say, this one. Okay, selected captures, and in selected captures, I say, okay, only import the influence of religious beliefs, and I say import. Okay. I say import, and it is importing. Just give it a minute. It's a lovely software to work with, you know. I somehow, acha, by the way, textual analysis can be done free of cost in our software also. But I personally find our software very difficult in coding, etc. That is the reason I thought buying this software and working on it would have been better. So our software is another free software. QDA Miner you can download. It is free, but it is only free for coding. So anything advanced like a sentiment analysis or, you know, project maps, etc., it will tell you to go and pay. So it is free, but it is free only for certain things like basic codings. Okay. Now it's just taking a little too long. So 50% done, it says. So this is how you import, and the moment it gets imported, it will start showing 50% is done, and rest it will start showing. So yeah, any other question? Okay, thank you to everybody who found this good. Thank you so much. And I'm thankful to Anand for having cooperated in every possible way. They are very, very organized.
Ma'am, this is Mariam. Ma'am, in my question, what I wanted to clarify is that, for example, we go to the Facebook, we write, let us say, we are interested in sustainability, and
Yeah.
I write sustainability, or maybe I go to Twitter, I write sustainability, hashtag sustainability. Now, when I start and capturing, what all will it capture? Will it, I mean, endlessly start capturing, or do we give an end to it that capture
No.
only these things, or what? I mean, how does it work in that way?
Mariam, you will have to say hashtag sustainability. The moment you see
Okay.
hashtag sustainability, it will capture all the posts of sustainability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what
Irrespective
about
of the,
Facebook? For example, I go to Facebook. I mean,
yeah.
how should I find that particular thing which I'm looking for? Let us say
Okay.
sustainability, or do I have to go to people's account and I have to like find their
Okay. It
responses?
will take a little bit of time, but if you guys have time, let me show it to you. Anyways, we have time till 6. Now, I just wanted to show you this. For those who wanted to know how to get articles from NCapture, this is the same way we'll get it from Facebook or Twitter, but this is the way. And here is the article, Influence of Religious Beliefs on whatever, whatever. Okay, so we have got it from NCapture. I hope the process is clear. Now, let me, Mariam, I have to log in my Facebook account. You'll have to give me a minute because I haven't logged in. So give me a minute. I will have to log in and show it to you. All right. So, okay. So I go to Facebook. I think I'm logged in. I'm never logged out of Facebook. Yeah. So I have to know where to go even in Facebook. So just a second. Okay, so if this is my Facebook account, I'll have to go to search. Now, Mariam, what
Ma'am,
do you
let
want
us
to
say I
search?
want responses on sustainability.
Okay, so it's very simple. Type sustainability. Now, when you type sustainability, you will see these many groups. You will see these many
Yes,
groups.
please.
Okay. Now, on the left side, you have a choice. Either they say all. When they say all means any company which is talking anything, I mean everything you want. So you say no, I want only posts. On the left side, you have only those people who have posted on sustainability. Now see,
Okay.
there are only posts. Okay. Here it comes. I told you date posted. See, there is a drop down of date posted 2020, 2019. You have a choice of picking up only 2020 posts. You also have a choice of picking up only the people's post. Okay, so these are individual people, okay, who have posted. So these
Yeah.
options are there. You have a option of photos about sustainability. So these become your images. So now it's up to you. Now it's up to you what you want to take. Now, if you want to make yourself very specific, like for example, I say sustainability. Okay, let me say sustainability in COVID. I'm just giving an example. Sustainability in COVID. Okay, just let me say that. So these are all the posts which are there. Post. If I go to post, these are all the posts which are talking about sustainability in the COVID time. So obviously they are all posts of 2020. Okay, they are all posts of 2020. Still, to be on the safe side, you can say date posted and go to 2020 and pick up only the posts of 2020. Okay, so now whatever comes as an these are all posts of 2020 only. So this is just an year's post. Pick it up and I mean take NVivo, tell it to capture for NVivo. What name do you want to give it? I want to give it the name. I want to give it the name sustainability. Okay, and I say web page as PDF. Okay, and I just go to capture, and it will capture it. Below, it will show the progress. Go and see the progress. The moment it is ticked, import it into. It's already ticked. It's already picked it up. imported into NVivo, right? Is it clear now, Mariam? Mariam, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. Yes. Cell QD. Okay. It is called QDA minor. QDA minor is a free software. Okay, but it only allows some basic functions like coding. Okay, it does not allow sentiment analysis. If it goes to sentiment analysis, it will say purchase QDA minor. See, all these softwares want you to purchase our software, and there are some videos of our software text mining available on YouTube also. Our software is a free software, but if all of you are good in coding, please go for it. I am not good in coding personally, so I like going for a proper application based software like SPSS or an MOS or an NVivo, something like this. Okay. Yes. Any more questions? Any more questions? That's it. Can we call it a day? Any more
Thank you,
questions?
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And any further questions, any further videos you need about a qualitative topic or NVivo, please let me know on WhatsApp. I'll probably make a video and put it up for you people. Okay.
Ma'am, thanks for the wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.